Welcome to my channel where I'm trying to visit all the beaches on Cape Breton Island one by one. Today we're going to Cheticamp Beach. I'll tell you how to get there, what to expect when you arrive. Midway, I'll share some interesting information I dug up while researching this beach. Let's zoom in and have a look around. I'll talk about the beach, the village, and then I'll talk about LaPointe. How to get there. From the Big Fiddle in Sydney, it's just over a 2-hour drive. Follow the signs for Cheticamp Island. Drive 3 kilometers down the road until you see this sign. Behind this flag is a huge parking lot. That building is the office for the campground and beach. It has washrooms for customers, they sell snacks, there's machines for laundry, pool table, there's also mini putt there. And it's where you would buy your beach pass. From the parking lot, there's a boardwalk that leads to the beach. Look at those hills in the background. There's no lifeguard here. This beach is very safe for families. The water is shallow for a long ways out. I don't believe there are dangerous riptides here, and the water is usually calm and warm. I visited this beach around 6:30 p.m. Nobody was on the beach. I think everybody was gone for supper. Here's the sand, and here's the water. I love those hills. I'm pretty sure this was low tide. Make sure you put your garbage in here and keep the beach clean. Okay, I want to show you this. There's the parking lot, there's the building, and there's the boardwalk to the beach. This part of the shore is flat, and when it rains, the water flows to the beach and the sand gets wet, as you can see. Now over here, there's a big sand dune and it acts like a berm, and the sand over here is better. Now over here, there's another beach I want to show you. This one is free. You park on the side of the road. All right, let's go over to that free beach. You have to walk over a band of pebbles and then there's more sand. It's a bit of a mix. Now I'm going to the village. Some of the footage you're about to see was taken that same evening, but some was taken the next morning when most people were still in bed. video is not over, because this is the part of the video where I tell you some interesting information I learned while researching this beach. Before I jump into it, I want to say a huge thank you to Daniel at Sydney Adventure Tours for sponsoring this video. Go check out his website to discover the great tours he offers. Thanks again to Daniel at Sydney Adventure Tours. Did you know the Cheticamp we know today wasn't always here? The story of this community actually began somewhere else. Let me tell you a little story. Centuries ago, this territory was exclusively inhabited by the Mi'kmaq people. The area is called Mi'kma'ki, and the island that we know as Cape Breton is called Unama'ki. The Cheticamp area was known as Aucheduch or Aucheduch, something like that. According to Helen Syllaboy's Mi'kmaq place names in Cape Breton from 2003, this is how it's spelled, or like this. Then came the European fishermen from places like the Basque region, Portugal, Spain, France, and England. By looking at old maps, we can see Cheticamp had many different names, like Ochatzia. In 1672, Nicola Denny called it Lachati in his book. 1689, Ochatis. In 1690, Cheticamp. In 1741, Anse au Basque. Anse is the French word for cove. 1758, Basque Bay. 1760, Basque Cove. 1764, Isle de Cheticamp. The Spanish map called it Bahia Basque, meaning Basque Bay. 1780, Island of Cheticamp. This French map from 1833 called it Île de Cheticamp. In the 1880s, a missionary added a P at the end, and it stuck. 1884, Cheticamp. 1900, there's Cheticamp. And notice what we consider Cheticamp today was called Eastern Harbor. There you see Eastern Harbor again. So why did Cheticamp begin here? It's because the first fishing harbor was here, and therefore so were the first inhabitants. In the beginning, it was nothing more than a seasonal fishing station for crew on the shore to process and preserve cod. They weren't colonizers or settlers. They returned home across the Atlantic after the fishing season was over. Nothing much happened here in the winter. Things began to change around the mid to late 18th century. I'm talking about the defeat of Fort Beauséjour in 1755, the fall of the fortress of Louisbourg in 1758, the capture of the fortified city of Quebec in 1759, and the surrender of Montreal in 1760. New France, effectively, came under British control and was officially ceded to the British with the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1763. Which brings my story to 1765. This is when Charles Robin, merchant from the Isle of Jersey, arrived in Cape Breton. First he went to Ayrshire, but after having some rough luck there, he set himself up at LaPointe on Cheticamp Island. He was in the business of exporting fish to all over the world. His operation on Cheticamp Island brought a flurry of activity. The first permanent settlers, primarily Acadians who escaped the Great Expulsion, arrived in the early 1780s. The settlement was formally established in 1785 with a land grant given to 14 original Acadian families. By 1790, the Robbins Company had built a large wharf and a store, warehouses, sheds. There was also a forge and a post office. There was even this huge house called the Jersey Mansion. Some people call it the Robin Mansion. For about a century, this is how things were. And then something big happened. 1867, Confederation. And along came the Department of Marine and Fisheries. Soon after that, a couple changes came to Cheticamp. First, in 1873, the government installed a lighthouse at LaPointe. On this map, you can see the wharf, the stores, the dots are buildings. Over here is the lighthouse, and then finally the forge. The second change came in 1874. The government dredged the Cheticamp harbor so fishing boats and ships could enter there. And around this time, the population of Cheticamp at LaPointe was nearly 2,000. 20 years later, the population had declined from nearly 2,000 to 500. And then the new church was built in Eastern Harbor in 1893. Now Cheticamp was on the decline, and Eastern Harbor was growing. In 1919, the population of Eastern Harbor had surpassed Cheticamp at LaPointe. The Robin Company moved their operation to the new fishing wharf. Cheticamp at LaPointe continued to decline, and in the early 1980s, the fishing wharf there was decommissioned. Everything deteriorated until there was nothing left besides the outline of some foundations and the gravesite. My family and I used to camp at Plage St. Pierre Campground. Most evenings we would walk to a nearby look-off spot to see the sunset. And at the time we had no idea about the history of this place. It just looked like a field and cliffs. We saw the most beautiful sunsets there. I have fond memories of that place. What was once a deserted plot of land will now be alive again. The land was purchased and it's becoming a tourist destination. There are fancy chalets you can rent. There's a large building under construction called Le Shed. It'll have a boutique and a meeting space. There'll be a bistro and a museum about local history. There's a new marina. And there are trails for exploring. Also, there's a nature reserve nearby, great place for bird watching. Hey, if you enjoyed this video about Cheticamp Beach, the best way to support the channel is to subscribe and watch more videos. Watch the videos all the way to the end, hit like, share, leave a comment. All of that sends positive signals to YouTube, and as a result, YouTube pushes my channel to more and more people just like you. If you're brand new here, welcome to the channel. Check out the playlist I've created just for you to catch up. Check out the video description for extra information. Go see what people are saying down in the comments. Often there's some neat stories down there. Remember, the name of the channel is Cape Breton Beach Life. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching. I want you to have a great day, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye for now.